Ahoy, making sure the stream is up. Give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. So welcome back. This is I'm VeggiePta. This is itsavgbltpta, which stands for I totally suck at video games, but love to play them anyway. And we are continuing on our adventure of playing Hakuoki, Stories of the Shinsengumi. We are romancing Harada, who is the red-haired spear wielder, and we're on chapter 4. So it's not but judging by this music, it's not a happy chapter. But let's get things going. Let me just adjust my headphones so they don't so I don't do that. I knew that was gonna happen. I have the worst office setup. I'm really bad at clutter. If anyone is afraid of wires and such, don't come around me. Anyway, like all the rest of them, I will be doing very minimal commentary on my end, except for this beginning section, sorry. And I'll voice all of the narration and main characters since she doesn't have any voice, but I'm gonna let them Japanese voice actors do their own thing, so. It was December. The combined forces of the Satsuma and Choshu were gathering in Kyoto and setting up camp around the imperial estate. In response, the Shinsengumi was ordered to guard the Fushimi magistrate's office. During their time in Kyoto, the Shinsengumi had killed plenty of men who'd rebelled against the shogunate. That had done little to endear them to the Satsuma and Choshu, who were staunch imperialists. Kyoto was a powder keg. The atmosphere in the magistrate's office was tense. Earlier in the day, Kondo had been shot in the shoulder while on the way back from a meeting. I had never seen the men so angry, although it was certainly understandable. Every man in the Shinsengumi looked up to Kondo, and it was hard not to like him. Still, I felt uncomfortable. Oh? Hello, Harada. He looked up at the sound of his name.
Yo. 年の瀬だってのにえらいことになっちまったな.
He was trying to act cheerful, but even I could see he was feeling down. How is Kondo's injury? I have a hard time asking the other men.
俺は医者じゃねえから詳しいことはわかんねえんだが、かなり深い傷らしくてな。布団の上でうなってるらしい。
I see. For the leader of a group of men like the Shinsengumi, Kondo was exceptionally kind. It hardly seemed fair that someone like that should be hurt so badly. I understood how the rest of the soldiers felt. Did they catch the shooter? Was it the Choshu?
いや、近藤さんが撃たれたって知らせが届いてすぐ、新八が現場に駆けつけたらしいんだが、手がかり一つ見つからなかったらしい。目撃者もいなかったってことだ。厄介なことになってきたな。
Yeah, for our leader to get shot just as we're about to go to war.
いや、そういうことじゃねえんだ。もちろん敵の動きも気がかりだが、今なんつうか、身内の方が危なっかしい感じなんだよな。
What is it then? But instead of answering my question, Harada rubbed his finger thoughtfully along the bridge of his nose and murmured.
俺たちって一体何のために戦ってるんだろうな。薩長、特に長州の連中は池田屋だとか金門の変で殺されたたくさんの仲間の弔い合戦のつもりなんだろうが、俺たちは何のために戦うんだろうってちょっと考えちまってさ。
Well, aren't we all fighting for the shogunate? He frowned and pursed his lips.
まあそれも外れちゃいねえし、近藤さんあたりは今でも幕府を守るために戦ってるんだろうが、もともとは俺たち幕府のために戦うような集まりじゃなかった気がするんだよな。
You mean the Shinsengumi? I hadn't thought of it before, but I knew almost nothing about who the captains had been before they came to Kyoto, or why they'd come. The Shinsengumi had a reputation as a pack of bloodthirsty killers who dealt with ronin who stepped out of line. I knew now that they weren't nearly as bloodthirsty as public opinion made them out to be, but I didn't know anything about their origins in Edo.
俺、腹を詰めたことがあるんだ。若い頃武士と揉め事を起こしてさ。
He patted absently at the strip of cloth wrapped around his stomach.
まあ俺って今も気が長い方じゃねえけど、若い頃は今よりもっと短気でな。売り言葉に買い言葉で切らざるを得なかったってのもあるんだが、でも結局死ねなくて、その切腹騒ぎで藩にいられなくなって江戸まで流れ着いたんだ。そこで近藤さんや土方さんと会ったんだが、
He grinned.
新選組局長であるなんて威張り腐ってる今じゃ想像できねえかもしれねえけど、当時はさ、門弟もろくにいなくて食っていくのにすら困ってる貧乏道場だったんだぜ。
Really? But they've killed so many ronin. Okita especially was so good with a sword that it was hard to believe he was even human. I would have thought a dojo full of such powerful warriors would have flourished.
実戦に強い剣術と綺麗な方の剣術は違うからな。江戸には他にも有名な道場がたくさんあったし、農家のおっさんが桑振ってるみてえな剣術は流行らなかったんだよ。それなのに俺みたいな稼ぎのねえ触覚を居候させてたんだから、みんなどんだけ人がいいんだよって感じだよな。
Some people might have written off Harada's words as bitter, but I could hear the warmth beneath them.
だけど今日に来てからは幕府から禄をもらえる身分になって、近藤さんたちにも金の面じゃ迷惑かけずに済むようになったし、なんだかんだ言って町の人を守る役目だろう。そんな風に胸を張れる仕事ができてすげえ嬉しかったのを覚えてるんだ。
Harada. He was right, of course. If the Shinsengumi hadn't gone to the Ikeda Inn, for instance, then Kyoto would have been engulfed in flames. Every man in the Shinsengumi took pride in the responsibility they had to the citizens of Kyoto.
流れで幕臣になって、だから幕府側について戦わなきゃならねえってことはわかるんだが、まあこうなっちまった以上、俺らは近藤さんの仇を討たなきゃならねえんだろうな。俺は今まで守ってきた京を戦場にしてまで偉くなりてえとは思わねえんだが。
I didn't know what to say. In his mind, there were no complicated rules regarding his relationship to the shogunate and imperial court. All he wanted was to be useful and for his friends to be happy. That was why he'd come to Kyoto in the first place, but now he found himself about to dive headfirst into a war that would tear apart the city he'd worked so hard to protect. What could I possibly say to him? I couldn't even fight. He seemed to guess what I was thinking and gave me a wry smile.
おいおい、そんな難しい顔して悩むことじゃないんだぜ。要は今の自分が胸を張ってられるか、やましさなんて抱かずにお天道さんの下を歩けるのかってことだ。今のこの新選組の中でそれができるやつは何人いるんだろうな。
How could I answer that? It's a good question. It's a good question. And I have the answer. It's hard to say. I think it's hard to say. I mean, sure, we all had more fun before all of this started, but right now our country's in a tough spot. Trying to live in the past isn't really going to help anyone. And I knew that I wasn't actually considered a member of the Shinsengumi. I'd never risked my life to keep Kyoto safe like they all had. It was only coincidence that had brought me to them, and I was only alive and safe because they had protected me.
悪い。お前には酷な質問だったな。さっきの話は忘れてくれ。戦の話なんて女に聞かせることじゃねえよな。
I'm gonna forgive you for that sexist comment because you're pretty. What? No, don't say that. True, I might not know very much about politics and war and all that stuff, but I'm always happy to listen. Maybe I can help that way.
そういうことじゃねえよ。
He grinned and ruffled my hair with a single huge hand.
女のお前がこんなことに頭を悩ませてんのがそもそもの間違いだって言ってるんだ。女が戦場で役に立ちてえなんて思っちゃいけねえよ。これから先はもっときつい状況になるだろうしな。
His words were gruff, but I could feel the warmth and concern behind them. I'm all right, but I want to do something. I don't want to just sit around and be protected. I think there has to be something I can do to help. That was true. I did want to help, but I couldn't deny that a part of me had felt inordinately happy to hear him call me a woman and say that he was concerned for my safety.
だけどよ、本来ならお前はもう自由になってもいい頃じゃねえのか。
Free?
そもそもお前が俺たちのところに身を寄せることになったのはあの薬の研究のためだろう。あの時は行動さんの知識が必要だったが、今はもうそこまで切羽詰まった状況でもねえし、薬の研究なら三男さんが進めてる。それに正直言って今の俺たちには行動さんを探してる余裕なんてねえからな。新選組の機密を漏らされるんじゃねえかって理由で今までお前を監禁してきたけど、お前がそんなことをするやつじゃねえってことはみんなももう分かってるはずだろうしな。
He was saying things that I'd been thinking to myself for some time, but I wasn't quite sure how to respond. In the beginning, I had wanted desperately to leave, that was true.
まあ、もし新選組を抜けたくなったらその時は真っ先に言ってくれ。俺がどうとでもしてやるから。
He gave me a friendly smack on the back that I hadn't been expecting. It was quite powerful. What was that?
悪い、力が入りすぎた。まあ、本当にお前がいつまでも俺たちに付き合わなきゃならねえ理由なんてねえんだからな。
Oh, well, thank you.
さてと、そんじゃちょくら近藤さんの様子でも見に行ってくるか。あの人のことだから大砲で撃たれようとピンピンしてると思うけどな。
And with that, he turned and left. Leave the Shinsengumi? I honestly hadn't even thought about it for a long time, but he was right. I wasn't one of them. I was an outsider. There wasn't any reason for me to stay, but if I left, where would I go? We still had no idea where my father was, and as Sen and Kazuma had told me, I was a demon. Could I really go back to my old life knowing that? On the other hand, Kazuma was still after me. If I stayed, he'd be back eventually, and that would mean trouble. What was I going to do? It wasn't long before Kondo and Okita were both sent to Osaka Castle to recover. Kondo's gunshot wound was healing slowly, and he needed rest and frequent treatment. Okita was sent away in hopes that a change might help him recover from his illness, which had been discovered to be severe tuberculosis. I caught a glimpse of him as he left, and his face was frighteningly pale. As I watched him leave, I felt my heart sink. It made for a bleak start to the new year.
明けましておめでとう。まさかこんな場所で年越しするとは思わなかったな。
だな、こんな場所じゃ餅も食えねえよ。薩長の連中も少しは考えてやがれってんだ。
せめて七草がゆを食べるくらいまでは何も起きないでくれればいいんだが。
まあ、まったくだな。
Harada and Inoue were still talking and warming themselves near the hibachi when Yamazaki ran in.
井上さん、原田さん、大変です。薩長連合軍と幕軍の間で銃撃戦が始まりました。
Ruh-roh.
なんだって？そいつは本当かね？
とうとう始まったか。
幕軍が押しかけたのがきっかけであちこちで戦闘が勃発しています。おそらく薩長との全面戦争です。 斉藤さんの姿が見当たらないようだが、どちらに？
He's outside on watch. God, how do you properly voice that? I'm just gonna go with the goofy way. Aye! A sudden roaring explosion shook the magistrate's office, followed by another and another. The constant bombardment left my ears ringing. At that moment, Saito returned.
斉藤さん、薩摩の様子はどうですか？
この奉行所の真横にある龍雲寺にいくつも大砲が仕掛けられているのが見えた。連中、やる気満々だな。
As Saito spoke, I could feel the air in the room tighten. It was suddenly full of faces much more grim than I had seen in a long time.
みんな出撃の準備をしろ。撃って出るぞ。
Hijikata was already in uniform, his face pulled taut.
待ってました。薩摩の奴ら待ってろよ。目に物見せてやるぜ。
I looked over at Harada, who was already pulling on his own uniform and headguard. The Satsuma were armed with guns, but the Shinsengumi only had swords and spears.
なんて顔してんだよ。まるで死での旅の見送りみてえじゃねえか。
But...
大丈夫だって。俺たちが強いってことくらい分かってんだろ。余計な心配しないでここで待ってろ。絶対に建物の外に出るんじゃねえぞ。
よし、それじゃ行くぞ。準備ができたものからついてこい。
With the shuffling and clanking of armor moving, the men followed Hijikata out of the building, leaving only a few behind to guard the magistrate's office. Every time I heard the sound of cannon fire, my heart leapt into my throat, and I cringed at every scream, wondering frantically if it had come from anyone I knew. As the minutes stretched into hours, I prayed desperately as my mind invented horrible deaths for all my friends. It's a happy chapter, guys. Then, at last, as twilight began to fall on Kyoto, they returned. You're back! Ruh-roh.
よ。ただいま。
They were dirty and despondent now, a stark contrast to the excitement and vigor on display when they'd marched out. Everywhere I looked, I saw uniforms smudged with dirt, dust, and blood. What happened? Did anyone get hurt?
いや、怪我はしてねえから。ただ、新八の隊は先発隊だったからな。何人も死人が出ちまってさ。刀でつばぜり合いする時とは全然勝手が違うよな。相手の懐に飛び込む前に撃たれちまう。
Oh no. Nagakura had seen his men die. Men who had drunk with him, sparred with him, and patrolled the streets of Kyoto with him. They'd been his friends, and he'd been forced to watch them die. What could I possibly say to him? Nagakura sighed and gave me a lonely sort of smile.
気にすんな。あいつらも覚悟はしてたさ。しかしありゃ詐欺みてえなもんだよな。長州の連中、侍も町人も農民もごちゃ混ぜの軍隊を作りやがったんだろ。そんな奴らにボロ負けしちまったんじゃ、武士の面目丸つぶれってやつじゃねえかよ。なあ。今回はたまたま運よく生き残れたが、次はどうなっちまうのかね。
何を言ってるんです。長倉君は殺しても死なない人でしょうに。
Dot dot dot. They were all doing their best to be cheerful, but it was painfully obvious that it was just an act. To think that the once invincible Shinsengumi could be so easily defeated. Outside, the bombardment continued unabated. As night began to fall across the city, Hijikata gathered all of the captains together and laid out his plan. Once the sun had fully set, the Fury Corps would head out and attack. In the dark, guns would be harder to aim. Hopefully that would give the Furies a chance to get close. There weren't enough Furies for a large-scale victory, but Hijikata hoped to blunt the enemy's spear at least a little.
お前は絶対に外に出るんじゃねえぞ。 野心を考えてるのはこっちだけじゃねえ。向こうにだって似たようなことを考えてる奴はいるはずだ。
Okay, I understand. Be careful.
君は中へ入っていろ。
They keep telling me to stay inside. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to go outside. Right. I nodded to Yamazaki and headed back inside. Never before had I felt so irritated by the fact that there was nothing I could do. No matter how I tried to calm myself down, nothing worked. I couldn't stop thinking about Harada and the others. Would Hijikata's plan succeed? I had just begun pacing when...
おい貴様、何者だ。ここは部外者の立ち入りは。
There was someone having an argument outside.
貴様。
What was that? I ran towards the entrance.
ったく、本拠地の守りがここまで手薄で大丈夫なのか。他人事ながら心配になっちまうぜ。
You! Shiranui's connection to the Choshu explained his presence in Kyoto, but what was he doing at the Fushimi magistrate's office?
おっと、でかい声は出すなよ。って言っても、声を聞いて駆けつけてきた連中なんざ、こいつで片っ端からあの世に送ってやるけどな。
As he spoke, he drew something silver from the leather pouch at his hip. A gun. Why are you here? Did you come to kidnap me for Kazuma?
俺が冗談言うんじゃねえよ。あんな奴のためにどうして俺がそんなめんどくさい真似しなきゃならねえんだ。
Then why? The corner of his mouth quirked up and he stared at me intently for a moment.
そりゃこっちの質問だ。お前はどうしてここにいる？自分が鬼だってことは分かってんだろ？人と鬼は相入れない関係なんだぜ。
That's... Wait, you're one to talk. Aren't you working with the Choshu right now? Well, I'm working with the Shinsengumi. That's all there is to it. I opened my mouth to continue, but the crack of a gunshot took the breath right out of me. I saw the smoke from Shiranui's gun and felt the bullet hiss past me to slam into the wall. His voice was suddenly low and threatening.
長州のために手助けしてきたんじゃねえよ。たった一人の男のためだ。
What?
幕府に逆らって首切られた師匠のために病の体を引きずって戦場に立ってそのまま死んじまった男だ。あっけねえもんなんだな、人間の命なんてのは。
He gazed away for a moment, his voice lowering to little more than a murmur. I had no idea who he was talking about, but perhaps he was having trouble accepting his friend's death?
俺はそいつ個人が気に入ってたんであって、長州の連中のことなんざどうでもいい。国の舵取りをするのが長州だろうが薩摩だろうが徳川幕府だろうが俺には関係のねえことだ。長州の連中もそんな俺のことが鬱陶しくなってきたみてえでな。お前もそのうちそうなるぜ。仲間だなんて思ってるのはお前だけで、向こうはお前を利用してるだけかもな。
They wouldn't do that. Well, some of
じゃあ
them would.
どうしてお前の仲間どもはお前を置き去りにして出払っちまってるんだ？女だから優遇されてるって思ってるのはお前だけで、ただ単に疎まれてるだけかもしれねえぜ。今頃仲間内でお前の今後の処遇をどうするか話し合ってるところかもな。
Dot dot dot! Exclamation point! His words felt like a knife in my heart. Suddenly I remembered what Harada had said to me earlier that day.
だけどよ、本来ならお前はもう自由になってもいい頃じゃねえのか。なんだその顔は。もしかして党の仲間からとっくに言われちまってたのか？出て行けって。
No! No. Harada hadn't said that because he thought I was a nuisance. At least that was what I thought. No, he wasn't like that. I don't care what you say. I'm not leaving. I'm not a demon. I'm one of them. The words were scarcely out of my mouth when the crack of a second gunshot slammed into my eardrums, and I felt a sharp pain on my cheek. My hand flew to it and came away with warm, sticky blood. I barely had time to think about it, however, before the wound began to close. In mere moments it was gone, as if it had never been there to begin with. I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it, but there was no denying that the speed of my healing marked me as something clearly inhuman.
自分でも分かってんだろ。自分が人の世では生きていけない化け物だって。
Ugh! I'd had enough. I drew my sword and ran toward him, swinging furiously. I was no swordsman, though, and he easily dodged my attacks. Another gunshot exploded in my face. Then something strange happened. Instead of passing immediately through my head, the bullet slowed almost to a crawl. I could see it move through the air, and I felt my body move instinctively to avoid it. Shiranui grinned.
なんだよその顔。まさか驚いてんのか？お前くらい鬼の血が濃いやつなら敵の弾を避けるくらい当たり前なんだよ。
I remembered what Harada and Nagakura had said earlier after returning from battle. The enemy guns were killing them before their soldiers could even get close. But if I could dodge Shiranui's bullets, then that meant...
分かってんだろ？その力は人間のもんじゃねえ。そんな化け物じみた力を見て、新選組の連中が今まで通りお前の仲間でいてくれると思うか？
Dot dot dot. I could feel hot tears begin to sting my cheeks.
嫌な予感がしたから戻ってきてみりゃ。まさかこんなところで会うとはな。
Yay. Harada!
大丈夫か？どこか怪我してねえか？
He shot me in the face, but I'm cool. No, I'm alright. I'm okay. He nodded, then stood and placed himself between me and Shiranui.
こりゃいや、怪我してねえかときたか。
何がおかしいんだ。その勘に触る笑い方はやめやがれ。
そいつが怪我なんてするわけねえだろ。どんな傷でもあっという間に治っちまうよ。だってその娘は鬼なんだからな。お前ら人間に守ってもらわなきゃならねえほど弱かねえよ。そんなやつを守るってのか？人間そっくりに見えるかもしれねえが、そいつは化け物だ。
Every word out of his mouth hit me like a dagger, but even as Shiranui mocked him, Harada's expression didn't change.
こいつが鬼だってことはとっくに知ってる。それがどうしたってんだ。鬼だろうが人間だろうが関係ねえさ。こいつの正体が何であっても今まで一緒に戦ってきたことに変わりはねえ。
There was no hint of doubt in his voice. He really did see me as one of them. Harada shifted his head slightly and lowered his voice to a whisper that only I could hear.
こいつは俺が何とかする。お前は先に逃げろ。
There's something coming up, so hold on 1 second. Damn it! Wrong button. Good thing I caught that pretty fast. There's a bad ending coming up, which is why I'm saving now. And we're gonna do the bad ending just for funsies. And then we're gonna go back and do the good ending. Please hold. Saving system data. Alright, bad ending time. But
いいから早く。お前がいても足手まといなんだよ。
what was I going to do? Here's the bad ending. Okay, be careful.
誰に言ってるんだよ。俺じゃなくてあいつの心配をしてやれ。
He grinned and I felt some of the tightness in my chest fade. Everything would be all right. Harada was a great swordsman. He wouldn't lose. He uses a spear! Sorry. I turned to run when...
おっと、逃がすか。
I heard the crack of a gun firing and my body shook as if I'd been punched. My legs suddenly felt like water and I crumpled to the ground. What had happened? Now my arms felt weak too. I couldn't lift myself. Had I been shot? No, I was a demon. If I'd just been shot, then the wound should have healed itself already. But with every heartbeat, I could feel warm blood pouring out of my body.
心臓を撃ち抜かれちゃいくら鬼の力でも回復できねえよ。人間を盾にして逃げるなんざお前には何の誇りもねえんだな。がっかりしたぜ。
He sounded far away. I heard Harada scream with rage and the rapid tapping of his running feet. Then I heard another gunshot. His voice sounded oddly surprised. Then I heard the sound of a body collapsing, and he was silent. No, it couldn't be. It wasn't possible. Harada was strong and tough and brave. He wouldn't die like that. He couldn't. Right? Game over! Saving system. Don't save this! Oh, okay, I had to get a trophy out of that, sir. Sure. That got dark fast is the name of that trophy. That was worth it. Alright. Now we're gonna go get a better ending to this chapter. I like to explore the bad endings. It's kind of fun. Alright. But...
いいから早く。お前がいても足手まといなんだよ。
What was I going to do? Fight! No.
なんだって。
He's a demon. You can't fight him alone. But maybe if we fight him 2 against 1?
あのな、戦い方も知らねえズブの素人がくっついてて何の助けになるって言うんだ。
Run distraction.
さっさと逃げろ。足手まといなんだよ。
No! For as long as I'd been with the Shinsengumi, I'd been sheltered and protected. But now, at least, it looked as if like there was something I could do to help. Something only I could do. Because if Shiranui was right, I'm a demon. I should be able to fight. Harada ground his teeth and glared at me.
くそ、どうなっても知らねえからな。
He hefted his spear and charged toward Shiranui with an angry roar.
面白い。1対1じゃ楽勝すぎて暇つぶしにもならねえからな。
He flashed Harada a wide grin, pointed his gun, and fired off several rounds. None of the bullets hit home, but I could tell he was missing on purpose, gauging his opponent's responses to each shot.
石弓って武器があるよな。あれが日本で流行らなかったのはどうしてか知ってるか？
ああ？なんだよいきなり。知恵比べでもするつもりか？
あれはな、止まってる的を狙うのは簡単だが、動いてる獲物を狙うのは難しいんだよ。こんな風にな。
Ooh. With that, he leapt forward, his spear raised above his head. Shiranui threw up his arms across his face to block the blow. The silver tip of Harada's spear tore into them, ripping cloth and separating flesh. Blood poured out of the wound.
今の感触だと骨まで届いたはずだぜ。さっさと医者に見せて縫い合わせてもらった方がいいんじゃねえか？
バカが。俺らは伊達に鬼なんて呼ばれてるわけじゃねえんだよ。
A smile spread across his face.
何？
The blood pouring from Shiranui's arms slowed, then stopped. The great gaping wound closed itself up, and before I could have counted to 10, it was gone, as if the cut had never been there. My question is, why did he stop attacking him while he was weak like that? Just keep going. Just keep stabbing.
今の一撃、なかなか良かったぜ。礼をしなきゃな。
He laughed uproariously and squeezed the trigger on his gun. Harada, look out! As I spoke, I ran forward, throwing my body in between Harada and the gun. Ugh! My shoulder exploded with fiery pain as the bullet slammed into it. Thick, dark blood began to flow from it, down the arm of my shirt.
おい、大丈夫か？
I'm fine. The wound still hurt, but the pain was already less, and I could feel the ragged hole beginning to close. He stared, stunned at my shoulder as the blood slowed, then stopped, and the flesh closed itself. I told you. I'm a demon. I hadn't meant it to sound so miserable, but it was the truth. No matter what I did, how much I pretended to be one of them, I wasn't. Harada and I were different. I wasn't even human.
面白くなってきたな。そんじゃそろそろ本気を出すとするか。
The gun in Shiranui's hand barked with shot after shot. Even if Harada could continue to dodge the bullets and hit Shiranui again, the wound would just heal almost immediately, and the fight was beginning to take its toll on him. Harada had started to sweat, and I could see his movements slowing, while Shiranui looked as if he was doing nothing that required more exertion than a relaxed stroll. A bullet cracked against this Harada's spear, and it jumped out of his hand. No!
どうやら勝負あったみてえだな。
His face loomed over us as the barrel of his gun trained itself on Harada's head.
お前、人間にしちゃなかなかの動きだったぜ。褒美に遺言を聞いてやる。何か言いたいことはねえか？自制の句でもいいぜ。
He was breathing heavily now, but the fire in his eyes as he glared at Shiranui was undimmed. Harada lowered his voice and whispered,
とりあえず俺がギリギリまであいつを引きつけるからお前は逃げろ。
But this is all my fault!
たくお前どこまで聞き分けねえんだ。女が目の前で殺されるなんて我慢できねえんだよ俺は。
It broke my heart to think of him throwing away his life like that. But what could I do? What should I do? If I ran, Harada would die. Shiranui had watched our conversation with cool eyes, and as we reached an impasse, he sighed and threw up his
つま
hands.
んねえ男だなてめえ。そんなにその女鬼が大切か？女が目の前で死ぬのは見たくねえってさっき言ったよな。んじゃ、そいつと一緒にあの世に送ってやるよ。
I could see his finger tighten on the trigger. This was it. We were going to die.
戦の真っ只中、我々新選組の本陣に乗り込むバカがいたとはね。
The voice was familiar.
鬼の犬間になんとやらですか？いや、そもそも侵入してきた君の方が鬼か。
佐野さん、大丈夫か？
ち、無粋な連中だ。相手にするのも面倒だし、今日のところは引いてやるよ。
He gave Harada one last sneer.
そいつが化け物だってことはさっきのを見てよくわかったろ？守る価値があるかどうかもな。
Shiranui grinned, apparently satisfied with Harada's frustration, and turned to me.
さっき傷が塞がった時のこいつの顔を覚えてるだろう。あれがこいつらの本音だ。お前は化け物なんだよ。お前の仲間どもも内心ではそう思ってるさ。
You! But he was gone like a puff of smoke. Why did he even come? He never explained it. Harada pounded a fist into the nearest wall.
なんなんだよ、あいつは。この俺がまるっきり子供扱いだったじゃねえか。
He actually got him pretty good, but he's a demon.
しょうがねえじゃん。あいつ化け物なんだからさ。人間の佐野さんじゃ勝てっこないよ。悔しがることなんてないって。化け物の相手は俺たち化け物がするからさ。
Dot dot dot. Every time he said monster, I felt almost as if someone had struck me.
バカ、生意気言ってんじゃねえよ、青二歳。お前が戦える相手なんだ。この俺がどうにかできねえはずねえだろ。
いや、青二歳ってひでえな。俺は客観的な事実ってやつをさ。
Heisuke made quite a show of acting indignant, but after Harada snorted and turned away, I saw him let out a sigh of relief. Perhaps he'd been concerned that his friend would treat him differently now that he was a Fury, but it seemed clear to me that their friendship was more important to Harada than just how human Heisuke was.
雪村君、大丈夫ですか？肩に血がついているようですが。
Oh, I'm fine. Sunun barely seemed to hear me. His eyes were fixed on my shoulder, and there was a strange look on his face.
着物に銃弾の跡が残っていますね。まさか銃で撃たれたんですか？
Yes, but I'm fine now.
なんと素晴らしい。人間離れした回復力です。これが鬼の力ですか。
He was probably just trying to compliment me, but all he did was tear open the wound in my heart that Shiranui had made. It was one wound that even my demon blood couldn't heal.
平助が言うように、今後彼らとの戦いには我が羅刹隊が重要な役割を担うことになるはずです。しかしそのためにはまだまだ改良が必要だ。羅刹をもっと使い勝手の良い部隊にしなければ。鬼である君の体を調べれば何かがつかめるかもしれない。
He's got a one-track mind.
君は普通の人間とは違うのですよ。その力、仲間のために役立てたいとは思わないのですか？
The earnest interest in his voice was almost more terrifying than cruelty would have been, and I felt tears begin to push at the corners of my eyes.
おい、三男さん。こいつの身柄をどうするか決めるのはあんたじゃねえだろ。
そうだよ。彼女嫌がってるじゃないか。どうしても入らざるを得ないってんならともかく、入る必要がないやつまで羅刹隊に引っ張り込む必要ねって。
Sunun glanced back at Harada and Heisuke and fidgeted with his glasses in irritation.
土方君なら私が説得しますよ。彼は頭のいい男だ。理を尽くして説明すればきっと理解してくれるはずです。
だから俺たちはそういうことを言ってるんじゃなくて。
Wait. Look, I'm going to have to think about it a little, okay? I'll give you an answer later.
なるほど。いい返事を期待していますよ。
無理する必要なんてねえんだからな。お前は女なんだし、もともと新選組の人間じゃねえんだ。
Right. I knew he was only trying to make me feel better, but hearing him say that I was not truly a member of the Shinsengumi hurt a great deal. After he had just gone and said that he thought he was, whatever, you know what I'm saying. He was all like, yo, you're part of the Shinsengumi, and now he's all like, yo, you're not a Shinsengumi. Harada, be a man. In the end, the Fushimi magistrate's office was engulfed in flames, and the Shinsengumi was forced to leave Kyoto. As chaos spread across the country, the various domains grew more opportunistic. Some, such as the Yodo, abandoned the shogunate entirely. What frightened the loyalist domains the most was the Satsuma and their allies had begun to march under the imperial battle standard. The imperial battle standard was proof that the army behind it was carrying out the will of the imperial court. Many domains began to worry that they would be considered rebellious or seditious if they opposed the imperial army. The Shinsengumi retreated from Kyoto and made for Osaka Castle. Osaka Castle had been built during the Warring States period by Hideyoshi Toyotomi, who had poured all of the experience and expertise gained from a life of attacking and capturing castles into its construction. Side note, it's a pretty cool castle. It was a nearly impregnable fortress, and from it we could fight for years. Or so we thought. By the time the Shinsengumi arrived at Osaka Castle, Yoshinobu Tokugawa, the shogun, had already fled for Edo. He abandoned the men fighting for him to save his own skin. Kondo and Hijikata were stunned and demoralized. There was no point to remaining in Osaka if the man they were charged with protecting was elsewhere, so the Shinsengumi made plans to leave for Edo by ship through Osaka Bay. The Battle of Toba Fushimi had claimed the lives of some of the Shinsengumi's most important members. Kind, friendly Inoue had taken a bullet to the stomach and died. Yamazaki had been injured during the fighting and died on the ship on the way to Edo. Damn, son. This game is not happy. Why is it so popular? It's not even like super romantic and it's not happy. What is wrong with people? Since chapter 4 was so short, we're gonna do chapter 5 too and hope it's not crazy long. January 1866. When we arrived, we were instructed to stay at the Kama Inn, a lodging traditionally reserved for a hatamoto. Even with the losses we'd suffered at Toba Fushimi, the inn could barely contain all of the Shinsengumi. Hijikata traveled to Edo Castle almost daily to discuss the future of the Shinsengumi with the senior shogunate ministers.
掃除のやつ大丈夫なのかな。船の中じゃ死人みたいな顔してたけど。
松本先生に見てもらってんだろ。きっとなんとかなるさ。
だったらいいんだけど、近藤さんの傷の経過も良くねえみてえだし、気になるよな。
The loss at Toba Fushimi seemed to still weigh heavily on their minds, and they weren't as cheerful as usual.
しかし、薩長の連中が持ってた新型の銃はとんでもない威力だったよな。銃なんて言うから、てっきり火縄銃みたいに弾込めに手間暇かかるもんだと思ってたんだが、あれはなんだよ。奴ら行軍したり伏せてる最中でも平然と弾込めしてやがったぜ。懐に飛び込む隙なんて見つかりゃしねえ。銃の射程もバカみたいに長えしよ。
あの土方さんがもう刀の時代じゃねえななんてぼやいてたくらいだからな。
Shimada, perhaps tired of their misery, finally spoke up.
お言葉ですが、まだ負けると決まったわけじゃありませんよ。薩長の後ろにはイギリスがいますが、こちらにはフランスがついています。
France.
新型の武器ならば幕府経由でフランスから買い入れればいいのでは。
新しい武器を仕入れたって使いこなせる兵隊がいなきゃ意味がねえよ。こっちにゃ銃の扱いに慣れた兵隊なんていねえ。訓練しようにもとんでもねえ時間がかかっちまう。
明るい材料がまるっきりねえやな。こういうのなんて言うんだ。八方塞がり。
Sorry. Nagakura smiled weakly, his usual cheer nowhere to be seen. After a moment, he turned to me.
さっきから隅っこで何やってんだ？
Eavesdropping. I'm just getting these clothes ready to wash, that's all.
そんなの気にしなくていいんだぜ。駒遣いじゃねえんだから。
I know, I want to do something. There's not much else I can do. They put their lives on the line whenever they went to battle, but I did nothing. If I didn't do something, I was going to go crazy.
そういや、今日出る前、鬼が伏見奉行所に来たって本当か？
I froze.
佐野の槍をもっとしても手も足も出なかったらしいじゃん。
Harada glared at Nagakura.
おっと、そんな怖い顔で睨むなよ。相手は化け物なんだ。人間の俺たちにはかないっこねえさ。しかし、薩長だけでも手に余るのに、この上、鬼の連中まで相手にしなきゃなんねえとはな。今日の街を肩で風切って歩いてた頃とは、比べ物になんねえくらいの転落ぶりだぜ。
勝機はまだある。副長は負け逃げるような人じゃない。
例えばどんな作戦があるって言うんだ？聞かせてもらおうじゃねえか。
弾を受けても倒れぬ兵士が大勢いれば、敵型の銃の精度も役に立たない。
Saito's eyes slid to me for a fraction of a second as he finished, and I shrank back. Nagakura and Harada looked disgusted.
羅刹を弾よけに使えってのか？むちゃくちゃ言うよな、お前。
あくまでも方法論の一つだ。他に勝てる術があるのなら、そちらを使うに越したことはないが。
まあ、何にせよ、話は土方さんが戻ってきてからだな。ここで俺らがごちゃごちゃ言ってどうにかなる問題じゃねえ。
Harada stood and excused himself from the room. I glanced around quickly, then ran off after him. I'd been meaning to speak to him, but hadn't been able to find the time before. I didn't want to ask him for help, but ever since Shiranui's visit, Sandan had come to me every day. He always wanted the same thing, my cooperation in experiments to strengthen the Fury Core. Harada... He turned to look at me, his expression downcast. Harada, I...
なんだ何か用でもあるのか
The words died in my throat under his cold stare. Why did he feel so far away when he was standing right in front of me?
悪い一人で考えてえことがあるんだ話ならまたの機会にしてくれ
Oh. Without waiting for a response, he turned and walked away. Harada... But he was already gone. I bit my lip. Things were difficult. No doubt Harada had a lot to worry about, and I didn't need to add my personal problems to those worries. This isn't the time. I shook my head and tried hard to forget my concerns. I don't understand why she doesn't just help with her blood or whatever. It's not like she doesn't heal, but I suppose maybe we'll hear about it. Or maybe it's all for drama. I was sewing in the corner of my room that evening when a shadow stepped through my door. I knew immediately who it was. He was like darkness itself, and he came every evening to torment me.
こんばんは。こんな夜遅くまで繕い物ですか？精が出ますね。
Good evening. I glanced around. There was no one nearby, of course, but that hardly surprised me. Sandan always made sure his visits were unobserved.
君がそんな仕事をする必要なんてないんですよ。くたびれてきた服に継を当てるくらい、ここの女将にでも頼めばいいでしょうに。
No, I want to do this myself. There's so little I can do to help. I thought...
そんなことはないでしょう。君にはいくらでもできることがあるはずです。
I knew what he would say next. I stood quickly. I have to... But before I could take a step, Sandan's hand snaked around my wrist. Please, let me go!
いつまで目をそらし続けるつもりですか？今のままただ守られているだけじゃ何の役にも立たない。
Oh, shit, sorry for cutting him off. His eyes bored into me like a pair of heated spikes. My throat tightened.
このままだと他の大使たちも井上さんや山崎くんのようになってしまうかもしれないんですよ。
Poor ninja boy.
君は共に過ごした仲間がむざむざ殺されていくのを黙って見ているつもりなんですか？君が我々の実験に協力してくれれば何人もの命を救えるかもしれない。そのことがなぜわからないんです。
Suddenly I saw Inoue dead in his bloody uniform, and Yamazaki slowly dying on the ship. A wave of misery and regret washed over me. I'd already seen too many friends die. I never wanted to have to feel that again. Perhaps Sandan felt the same. But how would turning people into monsters help? Furies had a place now in the middle of a war, but what would happen to them when the war ended? Were the things they gained by drinking the water of life worth throwing away their futures?
それにまだ戦況が悪化していない今のうちは皆も優しくしてくれるかもしれませんが、このままだと幕府はいずれ負けます。そんな時に鬼の君の面倒を見続けてくれると思いますか？
Exclamation point.
我々は君と同じ人ならぬもの。君を蔑んだり疎んだりする者は我が部隊には誰一人いません。それに新選組のみんなを助けることもできる。一石二鳥じゃありませんか。
His logic certainly seemed sound. I felt cornered. Was he right? Would the day come when Harada, Nagakura, and everyone else would abandon me? Before I could respond, I heard footsteps outside, and the door slid open.
三男さん、平助があんたを呼んでる。何か話したいことがあるそうだ。
Sandan frowned, but said nothing and let go of my hand.
わかりました。それじゃ雪村君、さっき私が言ったことをよく覚えておいてください。
Saito watched him leave, then turned to me.
今一体何の話をしてたんだ？羅刹隊に関わることか。
No, it's nothing. You don't need to worry about it. I forced a smile and scuttled past Saito and out of the room. Sandan continued to hound me, but even though I knew I was a monster, I didn't want to be part of his experiments. The Shinsengumi had helped me countless times, and I'd never been able to repay them. I was well aware of that, but it didn't feel right that my debt should be paid by submitting to whatever Sandan had planned for me. I wanted to do something, but something else. Harada. I thought back on what he'd said to me. What should I do? Did he remember those words too? The time for a decision was drawing near. That doesn't sound good. Ah! God damn, why do I always press auto? I think it's gonna pause it. It doesn't pause it. It doesn't pause it at all, guys. It just skips, but luckily I don't think we missed anything. I'm saving because I imagine there's a choice coming up soon, but we'll see. Saving system data. Please do not turn the system off. Okay. Several days later, we were all lounging around the inn when suddenly Nagakura cried out.
ああ、もうこの新規臭い空気耐えられねえ。吉原にでも繰り出してパッとやろうぜ、パッと。
賛成。お供しますよ、組長。吉原って俺行ったことないっす。ご一緒してもいいですか？
It seemed Nagakura wasn't the only person who was beginning to chafe at their long confinement.
おお、来い来い。全員俺が面倒見てやるぜ。佐野、お前は来るんだろ。お前の顔を見たいって姉ちゃんもいると思うぜ。
いや、やめとく。今日はどうも気が乗らねえ。
そっか？そんじゃ留守番頼むわ。んじゃ行くぞ野郎ども。京女に比べたら落ちるかもしれねえが、江戸の女もいいもんだぜ。
Amidst much cheering, congratulation, and general excitement, Nagakura and the men left the Kama Inn. Only Harada and I remained. In the silence, the beating of my heart seemed unnaturally loud. Even breathing seemed horribly noisy. Being alone with him seemed to make me awfully nervous, but why? Harada gazed up at the sky, his mind elsewhere. We stayed like that for some time, until he at last began to move. Harada? The prospect of him leaving roused me to action. I didn't want him to go, not yet. I had to say something, or he'd leave. Are you really sure you didn't want to go with Nagakura?
おいおい、確かにあいつとは飲み仲間だが、いつでも一緒ってわけじゃねえんだぜ。
But you seem so... Are you sure you don't need to take a break?
いいんだよ、俺は。それに、仮にもここを任されてる立場のもんが二人ともいなくなっちゃまずいだろう。
Oh, that's true.
たく、新八のやつ。絶対今日は帰ってこねえぜ。あいつらが吉原に出かけてる間に土方さんが戻ってきたりしたら。
Sorry. He grinned at me, and for a moment he looked, felt, and sounded the way he had before. Perhaps now was the time for me to ask. I swallowed. Harada looked as if he was about to say something. And then he seemed to notice how intently I was looking at him and frowned. Harada, The words were on the tip of my tongue when he spoke.
悪い。俺、ちょっと散歩に出かけてくるから。
Bitch! Don't avoid me! Oh. He turned, somehow managing to avoid meeting my eyes, and strode off a little too quickly. I sighed, and it sounded almost like a sad laugh. Of course, he was avoiding me. But why would he have done anything else? I was completely useless, and my presence attracted horrible demons, literally. Every time the demons appeared, they hurt people who I cared for. If I left, then they wouldn't have to worry about the demons any longer. I spent the rest of the day inside my room, thinking it through. At last I came to a conclusion. I would leave, secretly. Of course, I would have rather helped the Shinsengumi in some way, but I didn't want to sacrifice myself to the Fury Corps to do so. I didn't want to become nothing more than a tool for Sanon's experiments, but there was more to it than that. Furies were wrong. They should never have been created. Still, no matter how much I wanted to be treated like a human, it was selfish of me to want to stay. That left me with only one choice. Fortunately, Nagakura had taken most of the men on his little adventure, which meant there were fewer people who might spot me. I left the Kama Inn, doing my best to move silently and keep to the shadows. I hadn't gotten far when I rounded a corner and suddenly saw a man standing in front of me. Why this time of all times I could have run into him? Harada.
女が一人歩きするような時間じゃねえぞ。どこに行くつもりだった？
Excuses bubbled up in my mind, then evaporated. When I looked into his eyes, I knew that he would see through any lie I tried to tell him. I'm sorry. I broke into a run, hoping that I could sprint past him. His hand curled around my shoulder. With calm, measured strength, he turned me to face him. I couldn't bring myself to look him in the eyes. I knew that if I did, then I would certainly start crying. I bit my lip. Do you think you could just pretend you didn't see me? This is the best thing to do. I thought it through. He let go of my shoulder and sighed heavily. Dot dot dot. My cheeks turned red with shame. Was he worried about me? Would he have missed me if I'd disappeared mysteriously? What could I say to him? Please, don't be so nice. Please don't be so nice to me. My voice was trembling. You've done enough. You've all done so much. So I can't cause any more trouble. I quietly shook my head. Of course not. The men of the Shinsengumi had been nothing but kind and helpful to me. Except Sanan. Dot dot dot. No. It's me! You don't like me! I realized with a start that I was yelling, but the river of emotions that had been unleashed was too much for me to stop. Tears began to roll down my face. I'm a demon! It doesn't matter how much I try. I'll never really be one of you! Harada was staring at me intently, but I couldn't quite make out the rest of his expression through the tears that poured from my eyes. Don't think I'm not happy you've all been so kind to me. I'm grateful, I really am. Sobs shook my chest and made it difficult to talk, but I pushed ahead. But that's why I'm so scared. I'm scared that one day you'll all hate me because I'm a demon.
誰かがそう言ったのか。お前は疎まれてるって。誰かがそんなことをお前に言いやがったのか。
They might not say so now, but someday. Sandan had said I should join him and the rest of the Furies, that I was more like him than the humans. I think of myself as part of the Shinsengumi, even though I can't fight, but I don't want to be part of the Fury Corps. And as long as I stay here, other demons will come.
ちょっと待て。
I'm useless, but I want people to like me.
落ち着け。
It's selfish and pathetic, I know. I deserve to be despised. If you're going to stop me from leaving, then please, just kill me now. I felt strong arms wrap around my body and pull me close. Ooh. Rough fingers raised my head, and I felt something warm press against my lips. It all happened so suddenly that at first I couldn't tell what was going on. I saw his skin, the dark lines of his eyelashes. I felt his lips press gently against my own, and his hot breath mingle with mine. With some surprise, I realized at last that I was being kissed. Embarrassed, I tried at first to push away, but his arms wouldn't let me. Why was he kissing me? It took me only a moment to realize that the why wasn't terribly important. What was important was that Harada was kissing me, and it felt rather nice. Only when he pulled away did I realize I was somewhat short of breath. He gave me a crooked smile.
悪かったな。ぶしつけな真似しちまって。泣いてる女を黙らせる方法はこれしか知らねえんだ。
That is a terrible reason to kiss someone. Men, women, whatever, whoever's watching, do not just kiss a woman because it stops them from crying. Public service announcement over. Alright, continuing on. My knees felt weak and my head light. I told myself it was just because I was out of breath and managed a limp shake of my head.
ちっと言い訳がましいが、黙って聞いちゃくれねえか。お前を誤解させちまったのは俺の態度が原因だろう。だけどな、そいつはお前のせいじゃねえ。ただ合わせる顔がなかったんだよ。
He coughed awkwardly and scratched his head.
女は男に守られるものなんてかっこいいこと言っときながら、あの鬼になすすべもなく負けちまったからな。
Harada.
お前を狙う鬼たちからこの先お前をどう守っていけばいいのか。ただの人間の俺に一体何ができるのか見えなくなってきちまった。
There was frustration in his voice, but also fear.
みっともねえったらねえよ。情けねえわ。罰が悪いわ。お前が自分が鬼だってこと気にして引け目を感じてんのも気づいてた。だからって今の俺が何を言ってやれる。そう思ったらな。バカなこと言うよりは避けた方がマシな気がしちまって。
Oh, I see. I felt foolish. I'd been so focused on my own worries that I'd never even thought about why Harada was avoiding me. He'd been struggling with how to protect me and my feelings, and by trying to run away, I'd betrayed him.
もしお前がこんな俺に愛想を尽かして出ていくってんなら仕方ねえと思うが、そうじゃねえならやめとけ。
Harada.
引け目なんて感じる必要ねえよ。いいから黙ってここにいろ。いいな。
I felt my heart swell. Yes, I've got it. Of course I wasn't sick of him. All I wanted was to feel like one of them. My cheeks were stiff with dried tears as I smiled up at Harada. He smiled back.
よし。ならこの場は手打ちだ。とっとと中に戻るぞ。
Yeah. He turned and led the way back into the inn. I raised a hand to touch my lips tentatively. I'd never been kissed before, at least not like that. I didn't want to presume, but it had been quite a kiss.
どうした?
No, it's nothing. His attitude didn't seem to have changed. Perhaps it was possible that he really had just been trying to calm me down. If that really was the only way he knew of to do so, that raised some interesting questions.
しかし、お前がへこんでるのには気づいてたが、まさかそこまで思い詰めてるとは思わなかったな。
I'm sorry. Sannan's just been really persistent lately. He keeps telling me I have to work with him in the Fury Corps if I want to be useful. I was starting to think that all of you probably felt the way he did. Harada grimaced.
三男さんの言う通り、羅刹隊は貴重な戦力だけどよ。だからって、女を巻き込むのはどう考えたっておかしいだろ。俺たちは、新選組はそこまで腐ってないはずだぜ。
Right. As he spoke, I felt the worries that had weighed on my heart for so long begin to evaporate.
まあ、近藤さんもいねえし、土方さんも出かけちまってるから、三男さんも気が大きくなってんだろ。土方さんが戻ってくれば、そんな話もなくなるさ。ほら、帰るぞ。
Right. Harada and I made our way back through the darkness to the Kama Inn. To the Kama Kameli Inn? Sorry. A few days later, Hijikata returned from his meeting with the Shogun's ministers, where he had been since we'd arrived in Edo. He told us he had secured a Hatamoto mansion for us to use as a headquarters for the Shinsengumi. When he said that there was a little too much excitement near the inn for them to remain, Nagakura and the men who'd gone to Yoshiwara looked uncomfortable and began to closely examine the walls and floor. Once Hijikata had returned, Sannan's nightly visits stopped, and he no longer pestered me to submit to his experiments. But the best news of all...
Yeah, 心配かけてすまなかったな。おかげで肩の傷はすっかり良くなったぞ。
Kondo, the heart of the Shinsengumi, had returned.
さて、薩長との戦争についてだが、我々は公用鎮部隊として甲府城に向かうようにとの幕命を頂戴した。表向きの目的は江戸へ向かう薩長連合軍を迎えるために甲府城およびその周辺で問題が起きぬように収めることだが、本意は甲府城にて敵を迎え撃つことにある。もしこの任務が成功すれば甲府城を我々にくださるそうだぞ。みんなふんどしを締めてかかってくれ。
Kondo was grinning like a child at the prospect of becoming the master of a castle.
そうそう、俺は幕府から新しい名前を授かってきたんだ。その名も大久保剛。どうだ、勇ましい名だろう。
I'm not gonna remember that.
まあ、いきなり大久保様なんて呼ばれるのも照れくさいからな。古くからの付き合いがあるお前たちは今までと同じように呼んでくれ。
Nagakura and Harada were both scowling, but Kondo seemed much too ecstatic to notice.
もう俺は田舎侍なんかじゃない。れっきとした大名なんだ。
That is actually a big deal.
今度の戦で武勲を立てた者は家来として取り立ててやるからな。気合を入れて頑張ってくれたまえ。
Kondo's excitement at his new station had apparently made him oblivious to the feelings his men had on the matter. When he'd said the word vassals, I felt my heart sink. With one last giddy laugh, Kondo walked cheerily out of the room. Hijikata followed him with a frown.
くそ、何なんだよあの態度は。殿様にでもなったつもりか。
He kicked out at a desk in the corner of the room.
大体取り立ててやるってのはどういう意味なんだよ。俺たちのことを家来だとでも思ってんのか。元はオンボロ道場の道場主だったくせによ。
Shimada spoke up, perhaps hoping to calm Nagakura down.
ですが新選組で一番偉いのが誰かといえばやはり近藤局長でしょう。ある意味我々は近藤局長の家来のようなものなのでは。俺も長倉君のことを上官だと思っていますし。
俺が言いてえのはそういうことじゃなくてよ。うまく言えねえけど俺たちは上とか下とかそういう関係じゃなかったはずなんだよ。
His voice was still frustrated, but his eyes looked sad.
道場司令官を畳む前はみんなすげえ貧乏してて明日の飯にも困るありさまだったけどさ、そんな時でもあの人は一度だって選ぶって上司風吹かせたりはしなかったぜ。だからこそ俺はあの人についてきたんだ。それなのに
Nagakura and Harada had been with Kondo when the first seeds of the Shinsengumi were planted in Edo. They longed for the days when their small dojo had felt more like a family, but no organization could stay that way forever, especially one that had grown as large as the Shinsengumi. To be reminded how much things had changed couldn't be easy for them. After a moment, Saito spoke up.
俺は副長の判断力を信頼している。あの人が何の考えもなく動くはずはない。それに軍隊に必要なのは和気あいあいとした仲間意識ではなく厳然とした指揮系統だ。
そりゃまるっきりの正論だけどよ。俺は別に仲良し小良ししてってわけじゃねえんだよ。ただな。
He continued muttering angrily to himself, although Saito's response seemed to have cowed him somewhat. Moo. I went looking for Harada once the sun had set. When I found him, I checked to make sure no one else was around before I spoke. Harada, where's Nagakura?
昼間のことでかなりブチ切れてたからな。今頃焼け酒でもかっくらってるんじゃねえか。
Oh, I see. How do you feel about what Kondo said? I mean... Harada gave a dry laugh.
さすがにありゃ。俺、このご時世、大名なんて立場に何の意味があるんだろうな。
I keep cutting people off because I keep thinking they're done speaking, and then they keep speaking, and I feel bad, so I'm sorry that I'm cutting some of these voices off. I don't mean to, I promise.
将軍は祭りごとを行う権利を朝廷にとっくに返上しちまってる。徳川幕府も今や数ある藩の一つに過ぎねえってのにな。
Dot dot dot. I didn't know how to respond. I could understand Kondo's excitement at being given a daimyo position. He'd worked hard to improve his swordsmanship and dreamt of serving the shogunate. But it seemed that his joy had blinded him to the reactions of his friends, and he was ignoring the feelings of men he'd known for years. Harada noticed my frown and responded with a wry smile.
新選組にいるやつ全員が大名になりてえわけじゃねえんだよ。
You're talking about Nagakura? He nodded.
新八はああ見えていいとこの生まれだからな。剣術バカで脱藩して、つまりは剣に生きるために侍を辞めたんだ。誰かに仕えるため、侍って身分に戻るために戦ってきたわけじゃねえんだけどな。
Dot dot dot. Had Kondo forgotten that not everyone in the Shinsengumi shared his particular aspirations? Or had he never known to begin with?
新選組が何を目指してるのか、俺にもよくわからなくなってきたぜ。少なくとも俺は大名なんて堅苦しい身分に興味はねえし、どうしたもんかな。
I'd never felt this sort of anxiety from Harada back when we were living in Kyoto. Can I ask you something?
ん？なんだ？俺に答えられることなら何でも聞いてくれや。
What did I want to ask? What did I want to ask, oh guide of mine? Oh. What's your dream, Harada? I was more interested in what he wanted to do, not what the Shinsengumi wanted.
なんだよ、やぶから棒に。俺の夢なんて聞いてもつまんねえぜ。ありきたりだからな。
He looked slightly embarrassed and tried to grin to hide it. So, I still want to know what it is. He frowned and looked around suspiciously, then leaned in close to me and spoke in a whisper.
シンパチや平介には言うなよ。あいつらが聞いたら腹がちぎれそうなくらい笑いやがるに決まってんだから。
I nodded, and he continued.
俺の夢はだな。惚れた女と正体を持って静かに暮らすことなんだ。
Not a bad dream.
金はまあ嫁さんを困らせない程度に稼いどきゃいいかなって思ってる。
I can't deny I was more than a little surprised.
ありきたりな夢だろ。
Huh? Oh, well, I guess I'm just surprised that men have dreams like that too.
切ったはったの中で生きてるとな、何の変哲もねえ毎日ってのが恋しくなっちまうんだよ。このままだと叶わずに終わっちまいそうだけどな。
True. As long as he was a member of the Shinsengumi, it would be a difficult dream to achieve. But I'm sure it'll come true. I don't think the war can last that much longer.
ああ、ありがとよ。そう言ってもらえると意地でも叶えてやろうって気分になっちまうぜ。
Though the smile he gave me was brilliant, I couldn't help but feel a little sad. After all, if he did make his dream come true, I was certain the woman he shared his life with couldn't be me. I'm a demon. Any child I gave birth to would have demon blood in its veins. How could Harada live a quiet life then?
どうした？暗い顔してるみたいだが、もしかして俺おかしなことでも言っちまったか？
No, it's nothing. A demon could never have a human life. Harada had said, although perhaps not in so many words, that I was one of them, and I tried to tell myself that was enough. Shortly after that exchange, we left Edo for Kofu Castle. The Shinsengumi marched as the Koyu Regulatory Company and had recruited new members to bolster its strength to nearly 300 men. Since we would be in plain sight during our march, it was decided that the Fury Corps would remain in Edo, where their presence could be more easily hidden. Sandan suggested that I remain behind with them, but fortunately Hijikata disagreed, and I was allowed to accompany the main body of the Shinsengumi to Kofu. We would be passing by Kondo and Okida's hometown, so Okida had forced himself out of bed to come along. It was clear almost immediately that he was in too much pain to travel, however, and Hijikata sent him back to Edo. Even then, the march didn't go smoothly. It's a pretty painting. This is also a pretty painting. We were approaching Kofu Castle, but our progress was slowed. Kondo had gone to visit his hometown of Hino and hadn't returned.
よ、どうしたんだ？そんなしけた面して。
What are these fancy ass clothes? You look good. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the, kimono robes and stuff, but he looked good. The voice sounded vaguely familiar, but I didn't immediately recognize the man. Do I know you?
こんな格好してるからわかんねえのか？俺だよ、俺。原田佐之助。
What? Why are you dressed like that? He was wearing an outfit of black and white that was unlike anything I'd ever seen before.
土方さんの指示だよ。どうしても和服じゃなきゃ嫌だってやつ以外は洋装にしろってさ。
You just surprised me. I don't know anybody from another country. I couldn't figure out why you were talking to me.
大げさだな。でもまあ、そんだけ驚いてくれたんなら窮屈な思いをしてきた甲斐があったか。敵は全員洋装だからな。 西洋式の戦闘にはこっちの方が都合いいんだろ。
I see.
しかしこのボタンってやつを全部止めるとエリクルがやたらと苦しいんだよな。これだけは何とかしてほしいぜ。
I would have thought Harada would be more resistant, but he seemed to be adapting to his new clothes quickly and easily. Where's Kondo? Has he come back, or is he still at the inn?
ああ、まだ戻ってきてねえみてえだな。多分故郷に錦を飾りてえって気持ちがあるんだろう。
Harada frowned, and Nagakura looked up and scowled.
たく、何考えてるんだ近藤様。今は宿にこもってどんちゃん騒ぎしてる場合じゃねえだろうが。そんなんじゃ甲府城なんて守れっこねえぞ。大将としての自覚を持ってくれってんだよ。
落ち着け。近藤さんも考えなしに
They'll cut their
やっ
hair.
てるわけじゃねえよ。
I like it.
日野の若い連中が入隊を希望してるらしいんだ。新しく入った大使と打ち解け合うには酒が一番だろう。
He mimed drinking a cup of sake with his thumb and forefinger.
だけど今は一刻を争う時じゃねえか。そん時にな。
Saito appeared suddenly, and Nagakura stopped, surprised.
副長、お聞かせしたいことが。
うん、どうした？
Saito bent close and whispered something into the commander's ear, too quiet for the rest of us to pick up. As he spoke, I watched Hijikata's expression grow more and more grim.
甲府城にすでに敵が入ってるだって。本当なのか、そら。
はっきり確認できたわけじゃありませんが、間違いないかと。
局長に伝達しろ。敵に蹴取られないように進軍するぞ。
We came in sight of the castle just as the sun was setting. The rumor that our enemy had already taken the castle passed quickly through the ranks, and by the time we made camp, more than half of the men had gotten cold feet and disappeared.
男の風上にも置けねえ奴らだな。命をかける覚悟がねえんなら、最初から名乗りなんてあげなきゃいいと思うんだ。
So now they're maybe at like 150.
よし、皆集まってくれ。講義を行うぞ。
It was Nagakura who spoke first.
俺は引くべきだと思うぜ。奴らに先を越された以上、この人数で城を取り戻せるわけねえよ。
俺も新八の意見に賛成だ。軍記物の小説が好きな近藤さんなら分かってると思うが、城攻めってのは相手をはるかにしのぐ兵力があってこそ成し遂げられるんだ。このまま攻め入っても大使が無駄死にするだけだぜ。
俺はタイの方針に従う。
Saito looked at Hijikata as he spoke. Kondo frowned.
この地に布陣し、敵の動きを見る。奴らを素通りさせるわけにはいかん。お上から支度金をいただいて出陣したのだ。おめおめと逃げ帰っては慶喜公に面目が立たんではないか。
Kondo raised his voice to a triumphant shout that echoed across the camp.
そうだそうだ、薩長ごとき恐るるに足らず。局長、どこまでもついていきます。
A cheer rose up from the assembled men, but not Nagakura.
この人数で新政府軍を相手にするって正気なのかよ。あんた何を年狂ってやがるんだ。
I'd never seen Nagakura so angry, and the looks I saw on the other captains suggested it wasn't very common. It was Hijikata who spoke up.
俺が援軍を呼んでくる。お前たちはここで大使の指揮を取ってくれ。出陣が遅れているが、こちらに合流する予定の部隊があるんだ。援軍さえ到着すれば城攻めも難しくはなくなる。もう少しだけ辛抱してほしい。
Nagakura frowned, but had no decent retort.
あんたがそう言うんなら仕方ねえかな。
よし、それじゃ俺は江戸へ戻る。ここは頼んだぞ。
Then, wasting no time, he turned and strode down the mountain alone. That night we took up positions on the side of the mountain just as Kondo had said and sat down to rest. We would probably be fighting the next day. Harada and Nagakura had been in battle many times before, but I'd never been so close to an actual fight.
お前を羅刹隊の連中に預けずに済んだのはありがてえが、まさかこんな無茶苦茶な戦いに参加させる羽目になるとは思わなかったな。
As he spoke, I could hear concern in his voice. It's okay, don't worry about it. I'm fine. Besides, I'd rather be here than just waiting around. I'll do my best not to get in the way. I gave him the best smile I could manage, but Harada's face remained clouded.
女を戦場に出すなんて、どんな事情があっても誇れることじゃねえんだがな。
What about that battle with Shiranui the first time? Like, that was the middle of a battle, and she was there. This game.
いいか。こうなっちまった以上、お前のことは俺が守ってやるから心配すんな。前みてえに何もできずに負けちまうのはもうごめんだ。
Yes. Everyone seemed to agree that attacking a castle was difficult, and even I could see that we were at a disadvantage with so few men. But even so, I didn't feel frightened. Why?
そういやお前、この戦を乗り越えたら何をしてって思ってる。
What do you mean?
何もかも終わっちまった後、どんな風に生きていきてえかってことだよ。俺はできれば静かに暮らしてって思ってるんだが、お前はどうだ？
What did I want to say? Pretty sure I know what it is. If my romance level is too low, I'll receive a bad ending. But I don't think it's too low because I've been following the guide. So, let me take a drink of water before an emotional scene that I'm sure is coming up. Well, I have a dream, but it's impossible. I want too much.
なんだなんだ、綺麗なベベ着て大名の家にでも嫁入りしてって思ってんのか？
No, I don't care about money or nice clothes. I just want to live a peaceful, happy life. That's all.
なんだ、そんなのでいいのか。贅沢だっつうからもっとすげえ夢なのかと思ってたんだが。女ってもっと強欲なもんだろ。お前って本当に欲がねえよな。
Well, I'm still asking an awful lot. The life of a demon couldn't be peaceful. No matter where I went, I'd have to lie and keep my real identity a secret. Such was the fate of all demons. Even if we looked human, we couldn't live among them. Still, what could it hurt to dream? And while I was dreaming of being human, why not dream of being married to someone I love as well?
しかし気が合うな。実は俺の夢も似たようなもんなんだ。お前を嫁にもらえば二人とも夢を叶えられるってことか。
What? I felt my heart leap. Wait, what do you mean? Don't tease me. Harada laughed.
何にせよ、明日待ち受けてる楽しいことのために生き残れるといいな。
I hope so. If I could marry Harada and live a calm, ordinary life with him, I could think of nothing that would make me happier. But that was asking too much. The next day, a portion of the Imperial Army force stationed at Kofu left the castle and passed near the Shinsengumi camp. Kondo, Harada, and Nagakura explained to them that we had come to help manage the castle and the surrounding land and to welcome the Imperial Army. They were trying to buy time for Hijikata to return with reinforcements, but some of the new recruits couldn't handle the pressure of being so close to their enemy.
我々は新選組だ。
それ以上近づくな。
Stupid people. After revealing our true name, okay. That's not me saying it wrong. That's wrong text. Sorry. He opened fired on the Imperial soldiers.
くそ、だからにわかの兵隊は嫌なんだよ。斉藤、援護してくれ。
わかった。
Battle was joined, and the roar of cannons began to shake the mountains. The Imperial soldiers were armed with the latest guns imported from the west, and their fire cut down any Shinsengumi before they could even get close. Our chief weapon, on the other hand, was the sword. I saw Harada bite angrily at his lip as he watched the battle unfold.
あいつら寄せ集めの兵隊じゃねえな。鳥羽伏見で戦った連中だ。
He had faced the soldiers before and was all too familiar with how dangerous they were. We hurried over to Kondo.
近藤さん、撤退命令を出してくれ。あいつら新型の銃を持ってやがる。刀じゃどうやったって勝てねえ。
バカ者！敵を目前にしておじけづいたか。
そうじゃねえって。よく見ろよ。人数も戦力も持ってる武器もどれを比べたって勝てるはずねえじゃねえか。撤退ってのは負けじゃねえ。ここはひとまず引いて体勢を立て直すべきだ。
But Kondo had no intention of listening to Harada.
貴様、それでも男が。武士ならば命ではなく名を惜しめ。ここでむざむざ敵に背を見せられるか。
Kondo hadn't been at Toba Fushimi. He hadn't seen what the trained soldiers of the Imperial Army were capable of. How, then, could he imagine the overwhelming power of their rifles, or the unyielding strength of their training and morale?
全軍突撃！薩長の連中に我らの力を見せつけてやれ！
Dead, dead, dead. With a roar, the Shinsengumi charged forward. The battle went just as Harada had feared. Men were mowed down by bullets before they could come within several yards of their attackers. It wasn't a battle, it was a slaughter. Our men fell one after another, and in only moments the mountainside was littered with the corpses of young men.
これで気が済んだだろう。気合で戦争ができる時代はもう終わっちまったんだよ。
Kondo's mouth trembled as he watched his men die until finally he hung his head in defeat and misery.
皆の者を引け！撤退するぞ！
As Kondo's orders made their way across the battlefield, the remaining men turned and began to pull back.
しんがりはもちろん10番組組長の俺が引き受けるぜ。
Harada!
お前は先に逃げてろ。大丈夫。俺はこんなところで死にゃしねえよ。
Right. I pushed back the tears springing to my eyes and turned to run just as a shadow appeared before us.
よう、まだ生きてたのか。まさかこんなところで会うとは思わなかったぜ。
Shiranui!
まだその女鬼を連れて歩いてんのか。いつ寝首をかかれねえとも限らねえのにな。
Harada hefted his spear and grinned.
こいつはそんなやつじゃねえよ。長く一緒にいた俺にはよくわかってる。
すぐに死んじまうひ弱な人間の分際で生意気なセリフ抜かしてくれるんじゃねえか。それでこそ殺しがいがあるってもんだぜ。
He went full demon! He raised his gun, but before he could fire, Harada's spear shot forward. Shiranui leapt back, barely dodging the sharp metal point that had been aimed at his heart. His gun roared, and a bullet grazed Harada's cheek, leaving a thin red line across it. Harada didn't flinch. He only pushed forward, the tip of his spear dancing back and forth, never giving Shiranui time to aim his gun. Then, with a deft flick, he knocked the weapon out of the demon's hand. Even disarmed, the smile never left Shiranui's face. Except his gun is right there. Sorry, just the artwork.
なんだよ。この間とは別人みてえな動きじゃねえか。何か心境の変化でもあったのか？
おかげさんでな。俺が戦う目的ってのが何なのか、ぼんやりとだが見えてきた気がするぜ。
Even though they were both fighting for their lives, both men had great happy smiles stretching across their faces. Harada raised his spear for the final blow.
うわ！なんだこいつら！どうなってやがんだ！確かに今、この刀で切りつけたはずなのに。
たった今つけた刀傷が消えた。そしてこの人間とは思えぬ俊敏な動き。これではまるで。
バカ言ってんじゃねえよ！今は昼間だろ！どうして羅刹が外をうろつけるんだよ！
All around Nagakura were silent and motionless soldiers. But as I looked closer, I realized they all had red eyes and white hair. Furies! Furies were creatures of the night who hated the light of the sun, and yet here they were. They flocked to the dead soldiers strewn across the ground and with inhuman howls set to hacking away at them.
くそ！どうなってんだこいつら！
He lashed out again and again with his spear, but the Furies felt no pain and continued to advance. Then I saw them begin to attack the wounded. Stop! Please stop! All I could do was watch as people I'd spoken to hours before fell beneath the mindless swords of the Furies.
木陰に隠れて目を閉じてろ。こいつはお前が見ていいもんじゃねえ。おい知らない。どういうことなんだよこれは。こいつらてめえが呼んだんだろ。
こいつらは俺が連れてきたんじゃねえよ。そしてこんなもんを作れるやつは俺が知ってる限り一人しかいねえ。
A vein on his forehead pulsed with rage. As I looked around desperately for somewhere to run, I saw a figure emerge from the bushes and stopped cold. It was someone I would never have expected to see in the middle of a battle, and yet someone I had been wanting to see for a very long time. Father? My voice shook.
久しぶりだな。
Why does he look just like Inoue, only with no hair? There was the smile I knew so well.
邪魔するんじゃねえよカスが。何を考えてこんな連中を差し向けやがった。
こんな連中とはご挨拶ですね。私が作った可愛い子供たちだというのに。
子供たちだと。
私は長年羅刹の研究を続けてきました。彼らは人を超えた新たな種になってくれるはず。ただ羅刹は太陽の光やその時間を非常に苦手としている。その欠点を補うため、私は新たなる羅刹を作り出す研究を続けてきたのだ。
He chuckled.
どうだね、私の研究の成果は。彼らはもう太陽の光を恐れることはない。どんな時でも人間をはるかに凌駕した身体能力を発揮することができるのだ。
A wide smile split his face.
何抜かしてやがる。こいつらは単なるなり損ないじゃねえか。実験は中止したはずじゃなかったのか。これも風間の野郎が指示したことなのかよ。
Shiranui's voice burned with anger, but my father only shrugged.
まがいものだろうとなんだろうと、使い方はいくらでもありますよ。ご覧なさい。今日で名を馳せた新選組の方々も我が羅刹に全く歯が立たないではありませんか。この羅刹隊さえあれば倒幕など容易。いや、日本を狙う諸外国とて敵ではない。こ この羅刹たちこそ新たな時代の鬼となるのだ。
Never before had I wished so much that I would wake up and find that I had only been dreaming. The man before me looked every bit the father I'd known my entire life, but in his eyes, I saw madness. The Furies he'd created were trying to take the lives of people I cared for. I couldn't believe my father was there, that he was behind the Furies. I didn't want to believe it. But what we were seeing was neither a dream nor an illusion. It was very, very real.
こんな化け物を作り出して風間の野郎一体何を企んでやがるんだよ。こいつは世の中に出していいもんじゃねえ。こんなのが平然と闊歩するようになったら日本はおしまいだぜ。
Shiranui turned to Harada.
おい、一時休戦だ。このまがい者どもを片付けるぞ。
He didn't even wait for a response before lifting his gun toward a Fury. The barrel exploded with fire, and the Fury fell, writhing.
共同戦線ってとこか。依存はねえぜ。
He hefted his spear and thrust it into the Furies gathering around the corpses. Their screams of pain echoed across the mountains.
時代遅れの鬼と人間が手を組んだところで何ができるというのかね。
He chuckled and sat back, amused, to watch the battle unfold before him. The blood spilt by wounded Furies attracted more, and one by one they grew into a great crowd around Harada, Shinpachi, and Shiranui.
くそ。
He was putting up a good fight, but even a skilled warrior like Harada was no match for massively superior numbers, and while he eventually tired, the Furies had no such weaknesses. They stood up after every blow, healed, and began to attack again.
サノ、ここは一旦引くぞ。こんだけ数が多くちゃ全員倒すなんて無理だ。
早く来い。このままでは体力を削られるだけだぞ。
Nagakura and Saito were both so drenched in sweat that it almost looked as if they'd been swimming.
そりゃ分かってるけどよ。
He was beginning to tire, and his swings and thrusts weren't as fast or accurate as they had been. The Furies had now completely surrounded us. There was no way out. Everywhere I looked, all I saw were red, bloodthirsty eyes. Shiranui grinned.
なあ、原田。俺がまがい者どもを引きつけて、お前らの逃げ道を作ってやるってのはどうだ？
だが、それじゃお前が。
Shiranui grunted.
てめえらひ弱な人間と一緒にすんな。こんななり損ないの化け物どもに食い殺されるほどなまっちゃいね。いいか、10を数えたらあそこの羅刹に当て身を食らわせるんだ。あそこだけ人垣が薄い。一瞬の隙を逃すんじゃねえぞ。
わかった。
He inhaled quickly and began to count under his breath.
おやおや、もう諦めてしまったのか？
I could see the blades of the Furies getting closer and closer.
4、3、2、1。
行けー!
As Shiranui yelled, the barrel of his gun roared with fire, and the bullet that leapt from it slammed into a Fury, knocking the creature back and opening up a small space in the line. Harada didn't wait. He grabbed me under one arm and threw himself toward the Furies.
サノ、こっちだ。早く。
We followed Nagakura down the mountain path, running so fast we were almost falling.
おい、原田！その女鬼はてめえに預けてやる。女鬼は貴重なんだからな。絶対に死なせたりするんじゃねえぞ。俺たちの戦いの決着は次に会う時までお預けだ。
Oops, sorry. Shiranui's voice followed us down the mountain as we struggled to carry our wounded and weary bodies back toward Edo. That didn't go very well. Oh, but we're not gonna get to the next chapter. And I'm also not gonna press the start button. No. So we go from January to March. But things aren't looking up or well for the Shinsengumi. But we did get we got a kiss, and we got a possibly joking marriage proposal. I mean, that's not too bad. You know, everyone else is dying and things are horrible, but I mean, Harada. Beep beep boop. Beep boop bop. Let's just get some pretty pictures. Ugh, don't care about you, don't care about you, don't care about you. I mean, I care about them, but... Corruption! Oh, that's right, the Furies can get the corruption thing. That gets you different endings, too. Pretty sure Harada is the only one who never actually turns into a Fury. The other guys... Spoiler alert, but the other guys I think all do if you take their routes. But there's our Harada. His romance is pretty high. So we're gonna leave off on that high note. Haha. Anyway, chapter 6 might be the last chapter of the actual game. No, there's a chapter 7. I lied. So chapter 6, chapter 7, and then there are some like the stories because this is the PS3 version. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Tonight we played through 2 chapters. I'm a rebel. I'm a go-getter. We got through chapter 4 and 5. We saw a lot of bad things happening to the Shinsengumi. We should feel bad for them. But maybe things will get better. Anyway, thanks for sitting and watching and having fun with otome visual novels. And see you next week for chapter 6.